Hey, what's going on, guys? And today I'm going to be answering more of your questions from last week. So today I actually got a few more questions than I thought I would. So I'm going to leave this as more of an unedited session. Unlike last week, I'm going to pretty much just run through all these questions just so I can get them answered. And for all the questions I don't answer on video, I've most likely answered them on the actual site. So eventually everybody will get their questions answered. So with all that said, let's not waste any time and let's just get into the first question, which is from Corey in the Pussy, and he pretty much demands me to say wanker and cunt. There you go, mate. And he also asked me, how often do I masturbate? And, I'm not going to pull I'm actually going to give his question a proper answer. I'm going to give him, my experiences with masturbation, because that's what he wants. That's what he wants to know. So let's just start off with when I first found out about it. I think I was 11 or 12, probably 12. And when you first find out about it, it's the best thing ever. It's just the greatest thing ever. And you obviously want to do it, but as you grow up, and then when you actually have a relationship with a woman and you go to have sex with that woman, you won't feel as good as you're hoping because you masturbate all the time. Like, if you masturbate all the time, you're going to be the only one that knows how to please yourself, if you know what I'm saying. So, I try not to do it as much now. Well, I don't do it as much now as I used to, but, maybe 2 times, 3 times a week if I have time. If I have time, then sure, I'll do it. But, there you go. About 2 to 3 times a week. Next question is from Anonymous. When Mr. Popo made the wish to revive all that Frieza and Frieza's men had killed, wouldn't that bring back the Saiyans too? They wouldn't have been brought back to Earth because they weren't on Namek. Well, that is a good point, but I'm pretty sure it says somewhere, I don't know where, but it does say somewhere that you can only wish back people or beings that have died within the year. Which brings up a whole contradiction with Revival of F, which I don't even want to get into, but oh my god. But that's probably why the Saiyans didn't get brought back. Frieza killed more than just the Saiyans. Frieza killed everybody, Apparently Frieza conquered 79 planets. So, wouldn't all of them come back too? So, no, I think you'd have to be killed by Frieza within the year. Which, coming now with Revival of F, maybe Dende, I guess, programmed them differently to Kami, because Kami was the Guardian of Earth at that time, and Dende is now, so maybe he just did them differently. Next question is from Anonymous yet again, and he pretty much asks, have you read Jaco the Galactic Patrolman? I just finished reading the series because I wanted to know Jaco's background before I watched Revival of F. And I want to thank this person directly for actually bringing this up, because that completely went over my head. And I do want to read this manga before I watch Revival of F. So to answer your question, I haven't read it, but I do want to read it. And if anyone knows where I can read it online, then, let me know. And, that'd be great. But I do definitely want to read this, and I probably will read this before I watch Revival of F. I'm not expecting to see Revival of F for a long time, because until it comes out either in theaters in Australia or online, I probably won't see it for a while. Because I'm definitely going to watch the sub before I watch the dub. It's whatever, But I do want to read Jaco the Galactic Patrolman. If anyone knows where I can, just let me know, and that'd be great. Next question is, who is the better channel to watch for theory/information videos? Unreal ENT Gaming or Rhyme Style? That's actually a pretty interesting question. I like both of those channels. For those of you who don't know, these two channels are pretty big DBZ tubers, and I like them both. I love Unreal Entertainment. Oh, dude, his name. Unreal ENT Gaming. And I love Rhyme Style. I think they both have their audiences, because they're around the same channel size, and I feel like they have different audiences, if you know what I mean. There's one side of DBZ that is for Unreal, and then another side of DBZ which is for Rhyme Style. But honestly, I do like both. But when it comes to theory videos, Rhyme Style has his good ones, Unreal has his. For the most part, like I said a million times before, I watch both. I like them both equally. I know Unreal isn't, for some reason he's not really well respected, and I kind of see why. I mean, he is a bit clueless sometimes, but I mean, I respect the dude so much, because back in early 2012, he was advertising Battle of Gods. One of his videos got like 1 million views. It got taken down, and he's still going along. So I got a lot of respect for Unreal, and for information videos, Unreal is usually the first one to post, whether it be on Xenoverse or whether it be on Revival of F. Like, I'm subscribed to both, and whichever like news information comes out first, I watch, whichever one comes out first. And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say it's Unreal ENT Gaming. That's just how it is. Like, it's sad for me as well, because when I uploaded my Chapter 2 Revival of F manga official release, like, I looked at my subscription box, and as mine was uploading, I see Unreal ENT Gaming uploads his 2 hours before mine. So yeah, he's very quick with uploading videos. So yeah, I do like them both equally. They're both really cool, and they've both done a lot for the DBZ community, so I respect them equally. Moving on to the next question, which isn't even a question. Look at this. Junie Lipships up in this nigga. So I don't actually think this is the real Johnny Lipships, because this man completely fucked up the spelling of Johnny's name. So moving on to the next question, which is an actual question. Again, it's from Anonymous. What's your favorite DBZ finisher? For example, Final Flash, etc. Well, that's actually very interesting. Just off the top of my head, since Vegeta's among like my favorite characters, I'm gonna have to go with the Final Flash as my favorite finisher, even though it technically never finished off anybody. But, aside from that, Final Flash is, it's awesome. And, Final Kamehameha, which is, Vegeto's move. It's the mixture between Kamehameha and Final Flash. I guess that's technically my favorite. But then again, if I was choosing my favorite move from Vegito, it would have to be that one where he gets that sword finger and he just like slices Super Buu. No, that's sick. But generally, my favorite finish is either the Spirit Bomb, the Big Bang Attack, or the Final Flash. Moving on to the next question, which is, what are your thoughts on Mystic Gohan? I like Mystic Gohan. When I was a kid, Teen Gohan Super Saiyan 2 was my favorite character. And then when we saw the Buu arc, I just kind of was like, what's happening to Gohan? He's not as badass as he used to be. So then when I saw Mystic Gohan appear, I was pretty happy. I was content, even though he didn't really work for his power. He didn't really deserve it in a sense, but he was still badass for, how many episodes was he fighting Buu? Like, however many episodes he was fighting Buu, he was pretty badass. So I do like Mystic Gohan, and I think he could have been utilized much more against the fight against Kid Buu. Instead of wishing for Goku's energy to be restored, they could have literally wished for Gohan to be teleported to the Nameks. I mean, not the Nameks, the Supreme Kai's place. And then Kid Buu wouldn't have stood a chance. No way. There's no way. So, moving on to the next question, which is, what is your favorite DBZ fight? I like Gotenks vs Super Buu, says this person. My favorite fight, it's actually not in DBZ. Some of my favorite fights are actually in Dragon Ball. Like, funny enough, I like the Goku vs Tien Shinhan. That's an amazing fight at the World Martial Arts Tournament. I love Goku vs Jackie Chan. They're some of my favorite fights, like in Dragon Ball and in Dragon Ball Z, because those fights, for me, I like them better for some reason. But if I was to choose, it's solely a DBZ fight, it's either Gohan vs Cell Juniors or Vegito vs Super Buu. Those fights were just amazing. I also liked Goku vs Ginyu, because that was the very first episode I ever saw of Dragon Ball Z, so it's pretty nostalgic to me. When Ginyu punched himself in the chest, and then he just switched bodies with Goku, that was the very first episode I ever saw of DBZ. So that's pretty nostalgic for me. Our next question is, would you be happy if Vegito was stuck fused forever? I'm going to answer that with yes. I mean, Goku and Vegeta are my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z. And them fused, you can't beat that. And I would have loved to see more of Vegito. I mean, I think it would have been better to end the series off at Vegito than end it with Oob. You know what I'm saying? I think it would have been better to have the two rivals come together as one person than to just end it with Oob. Because ending it with Oob, although Oob was pretty badass in GT, not really because he didn't actually do anything, but he could have been. But Vegito is just the pinnacle of cool, you know? Vegito's awesome, and I definitely want to see more of Goku and Vegeta fusing, even though I don't think it's ever going to happen again. Unless there's some sort of new godly fusion technique that we don't know about. But yeah, I would actually be happy if Dragon Ball Z ended with Vegito. You know, that would have been awesome. If it would have been better than Oob, you know? It would have been fantastic. But then again, it wouldn't really make sense if, like, Vegeta was around by the time Beerus showed up. Yeah, nah, that wouldn't have worked. But if we're just going by the manga, like the 26 volumes of the Dragon Ball Z manga, then yeah, I would have been happy if Vegito just killed Super Buu and then it ended like that. Like, I would have been happy with that. So next question is, do you watch Pokemon? I mean, who hasn't watched Pokemon? Let's be honest. Like, I watched Pokemon when I was a kid. I think the show now is complete garbage. The first few seasons of Pokemon were the best. They were the best. Actually, I also liked Sinnoh League Victors, where with that Tobias guy and his Darkrai. Dude, that was awesome. He soloed the entire 8 gyms of Sinnoh with just his Darkrai. Dude, that was awesome. The Sinnoh League was, you know, the exception, because that was in Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, but to answer your question, I do watch Pokemon. I don't watch it anymore. I did when I was a kid. I did, yeah, when I was younger. I still play the games sometimes. But yeah, Pokemon, I don't hate Pokemon. I like Pokemon. Pokemon's obviously another anime that I have watched. So, yeah. Moving on to the next question, which is, what is your favorite attack in Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball GT? Like I said earlier, the Spirit Bomb, the Final Flash, and the Big Bang Attack. Next question is, do you know the Dogfish? And simple answer, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Next question is, congrats on 3K. Not a question and not really accurate, because I've been above 3K for like over a year. So, yeah, next question is, what would you do if you were Goku and you had to fight Frieza? Would you change what you did? By Seb. So I guess what he's asking is, if I was Goku and I was fighting Frieza on Namek, would I have done what Goku did? So, essentially, I don't think I would have. I think I would have just killed Frieza at 50% power, because there's no reason to let him, like, go into 100% form, like his full power, even though Goku was like had it under control the entire time. I don't think it was necessary. Like, if I was Goku, me personally, I would have just killed him right then and there. As soon as I turned Super Saiyan, as soon as I had the power, I would have killed Frieza, because Frieza was just pissed me off by that point. Like, he wouldn't die, and he needed to die. Moving on to the next question, which is again by Seb. What is your favorite Dragon Ball manga / comic book? I personally don't have one, because they all kind of follow the series. That's kind of like asking what's your favorite episode. I don't really have one. But if I were to choose a favorite season, like either season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, it would probably be season 2. I liked the Namek Saga. The Namek Saga was so interesting to me. Either season 2, season 3, season 9, season 6. They're like my, how many did I just pick? I chose like 5. They're like my top 5 or top 4. Top 5 or 4. Yeah. But all around, my favorite, I'd have to say, is probably season 6, because that's where Cell dies and Gohan turns Super Saiyan 2, and that's just like, that's amazing. That's like one of the best bits of the whole series. So yeah, probably season 6. And the final question to end this off, guys, is Broly Super Saiyan 4 versus Goku Super Saiyan 4. And I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. If Broly achieved Super Saiyan 4 and he was just to fight Goku Super Saiyan 4, Broly would kill Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's that simple. Broly as a Super Saiyan was stronger than Goku as a Super Saiyan, so I don't see how Goku as the Super Saiyan 4 would be able to combat Broly as a Super Saiyan 4 if he were to achieve that power somehow. So guys, that's going to be the question and answer session for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you're still watching till this point, that's real dedication. So if you are, hashtag whatever, I don't really care. Just put a hashtag in the comments and I'll know that you came to this point. So if you did enjoy, please remember to ask me questions on this site. I'll be back next week to answer all of your questions all over again. So I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good day, guys.